Okay, yay, happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. So I did work. I know a lot of people were off. Tonight I thought we would visit gate pose. We haven't done that in a while. It's a nice hip opener. Do a little bit of hip openers. And if gate doesn't work for you, when we're in our seated warm-up, you'll see how it's similar to gate. So gate is when we're on one knee and the leg is extended. And we come up and we come over. So if the knees are cranky tonight, you would just take that seated, same thing, coming up to one side and over to the other. Always your choice of where you want to go with your body. I just like to throw that one in every now and then because it's a really nice hip opener. I figured we'd work on some hips tonight. A lot of my inspiration for class comes from personal experiences and what I'm working on. I've been doing a lot of work with the yamas and the niyamas, and when something kind of lights me up, I'll bring it into class, or sometimes an event will happen that's very it's a teaching experience, it's a learning experience, and I'll bring that into class. And I've been working with the last niyama, which is Ishvara Pranadhana, surrendering to life, right? Which is probably one of the reasons they made it last, is because it's so hard. Surrendering, not giving up, but as in things aren't going your way and you're not going to fight it. You're not going to resist. You're going to try and flow with the events and also be an active participant. So I don't think any of us had the past 10 months on their planner or on their vision board, right? So it's a beautiful concept for what we're in right now, right? Nobody wanted to be here. Nobody planned on this. And yet here we are going into month 11, right? So we can fight it and really just use all our energy, or we can surrender in a way that we trust, right? We trust that there is something greater that will bring us through this. God, universe, higher power, whatever you believe in, right? There is an intelligence to the universe. Regardless of what we do, the sun rises, the sun sets, the seasons change. So tonight I'd like to bring in just a little bit of that concept of surrendering, but still being an active participant. And we play with the postures, right? It's a beautiful way to explore that in a very safe space. Sometimes my lessons come so fast and furious. I'm like, okay, I have enough material for my classes. And we have choices, right? We can't control what's happening, but we can control our reactions. So I invite you tonight to play with that as we move into some of the hip openers, which some people may love, some people may find a little challenging, right? Can you kind of flow along with the class, knowing when to step back, knowing when to protect yourself, and also knowing when to be a little curious and like, hey, I usually don't try this one, but let me give it a shot. In my morning class this morning, we went into crow, which is an arm balance. And after that pose, I noticed I had like the hugest smile on my face. And I had a not so wonderful morning this morning that started at 5:30 in the morning. So you never know what we're going to find on our mat, right? So let's prepare for class by taking a comfortable seat, just closing the eyes, right? And allowing Suzanne, all I saw was your feet. Just allowing the breath to start to move us. Let the gaze come down to the floor or let the eyes gently close and start to focus on the breath in the body, the inhalations and the exhalations. And that exhalation is a beautiful example of that surrendering, right? As we exhale, we just let everything release. And then how do I become an active participant in that surrendering? We take a deep breath into the belly. And as we exhale, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the corners of the eyes, let the chin drop a little closer to the chest, and let the shoulder blades release. And start to move into our 3-part Dirga breath, filling the belly, the ribs, all the way up to the collarbones. And as you exhale, letting the day roll off with that exhalation. Taking deep breaths, but not to the point where you're creating tension in the body. Just allowing the breath to fill the torso. And with every exhalation, see if you can relax the hips into the mat. Release any clenching or holding, and then release any expectations for the next hour. Can you come into this with a bit of inquiry, right? Can you be curious? And letting the breath guide you here a little bit deeper on every inhalation. And as you exhale, releasing. I'd like to share a poem by Dana Fowles called Point of Radiance. Find the point of radiance in your heart, whether that be passion, pleasure, or pain so deep it's etched in blood. Follow where your true heart leads. When it seems there is no light, look carefully, for it is always there, that ember of the God force. It may be hidden in a dim corner or buried beneath a pile of regrets, but it's there nonetheless, that spark of divine essence illuminating your next step. So we may not have the answers, right? But we may have just enough light to illuminate those next steps. And that's how we travel on this journey, step by step. And begin to deepen the breath and slide the palms to the knees and start some gentle circling of the spine. And allowing the movement to start at the navel center. So as we inhale, pressing the navel forward. As we exhale, rounding and bringing the navel towards the spine. And just gently begin to wake the body up. Right? And notice the sensations in the lower back. And then start to make this movement a little bit bigger. Right? Letting the elbows bend and maybe the shoulders join in. Start to lead the movement from the heart, pressing the heart forward. Letting the eyes gently open if they're still closed, and then circling the body in the other direction. Coming up through center and sit nice and tall. And sweep the arms out to the side. Take a big breath in. Let the head drop back. And as we exhale, just flip the palms, flutter the fingers like confetti, and let the chin drop down to the chest. And we'll do that 2 more times. Seated sun breath. Nice deep breath, lengthening the spine, reaching up. And as we exhale, let those fingers flutter. Let the chin drop to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck. 1 more like that, inhaling up. And as we exhale, letting those hands come on back down. Now we're going to take the legs out in front, step the feet on the floor, and separate the knees nice and wide. Bring the hands behind for a little bit of support, and windshield wipe those knees from one side to the other. And notice how the knees are feeling and the ankles are feeling. And at any point in class, if something doesn't feel right, please stop and do something different. Take a rest. Let the arm come up and cross the body, bringing us into a little twist. and up and over to the other side. And then pause the next time that the knees drop over to the right. Bring one hand on either side of that right knee and find a nice long spine. Let the elbows bend as we extend over that leg. Come down nice and slow and then press into the floor, inhale, rising up. So every time we extend over that leg, make sure the spine is long and keep pressing the left hip back. Gentle little push-ups, opening up that right hip. Next time we press up, bring the body all the way through center, take the knees up and over to the left. One hand on either side of the left knee. Find that nice long spine first, and as we exhale, bending the elbows, extending over that thigh and coming back up. And see if we can find a little more length, right, with every exhalation. Let's come on back through center and bring the legs out nice and wide. So bring the hands behind you and lift the hips and kind of scooch the butt back so that when you bring the hips back down onto the mat, we're in this little bit of a tilt forward. We're going to do an isometric stretch, and I hope that I can explain this well enough on Zoom, right? And the challenges of not being together. So take the toes up towards the sky, right? And notice the engagement of the muscles of the thighs and the shins. And as you exhale, take the toes down. Do that a couple of times. And the next time that the toes are pointing up towards the sky, I want you guys to put a little bend to the knees. And this might work better if the heels are off the mat. And what we're going to do is do an isometric stretch. So we're going to be pulling the heels towards the hips with a bend to the knees, but nothing's really moving, right? It's just engaging those muscles. So we're pulling, right, and we're breathing. And as we exhale, we relax the legs and point the toes. And do that a couple of times. Toes come up, knees bend. We pull those heels towards us. And as we exhale, we release. You might start to feel this in the back of the legs, maybe even into the hips. And if not, I'm sorry. A couple more rounds like that, right? A little small bend to the knee as we drag those heels towards the hips and fold forward. And then find your block. Right? One more time, bending the knees, dragging those heels in. And as we exhale, release the legs. See if it feels better for the toes to be up or for the toes to be pointed. And place that block in a way that you can find a nice long spine and rest on the block. So maybe forearms, right? Remember, take care of those hips and knees. Bend the knees a little bit. You could do that isometric dragging of the heels towards the hips. So maybe we're up on the forearms. You can even be high on the fingertips, reaching out. Or you may want to make this a little restorative and just rest the forehead on the block or stack the hands, right? See where you would like to go here and let the breath move you. And as we inhale, we find a little more space in the spine. And as we exhale, even though we have that engagement in the legs, can you relax the face, relax the upper body, right? Just surrendering into our forward fold. Notice the emotions that might come up. Can we just breathe a deep breath into that? And then on the next exhalation, start to walk the hands a little bit closer. Bring yourself back up and bring those legs back together. Give them a little shake. Let's take the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out towards the side. A little rock side to side. Same thing, we want to have this little forward tilt here. And then let the elbows drop into the knees as we pull the chest forward, taking a big breath in. And as we exhale, squeeze the knees towards each other, chin to chest, ram the spine, belly in, drop the head. Inhale, rocking forward, lifting the heart, shoulder blades down as we look up. Exhale, reversing. So seated cat and cow and Baddha Konasana legs. And you can scooch those heels a little further away if it's too intense of a stretch, having them close, so you can bring them closer to the body for a deeper stretch. And the next time the knees release out to the side, pause here, nice long spine. We could stay lifted. You can use the hands to give a gentle press to the thighs. Or one more time, we can fold forward, maybe find that block. Bringing the forehead to the block. We're stacking hands. And breathe into the stretch. Squeeze the palms towards each other, the soles of the feet towards each other. And see if that will release the knees a little bit closer to the mat. As we inhale, we rise back up and bring those knees back towards each other. Give those legs another shake. And then bend the right knee out to the side and extend the left leg out. So begin to sweep the left fingers down the left leg and take that right arm out in front. And as we inhale, open it all the way to the right and up towards the sky. Let the left elbow bend into the left thigh and start to reach right fingers towards the left knee as we inhale, bring the body back up. And do this little side bending. Make sure that right hip stays pressed into the mat. There's a tendency for it to pop up. The next time the right hand reaches towards the left, just pause. You take a breath here. Reach through those right fingers. And as you exhale, let the right hand come down to the floor. And then sweep it all the way across to the right. Bring that left hand with it. We're going to fold over that bent right knee. Press into the floor to rise back up and switch. Right leg extends, left knee bends. Take a big breath in, bring the arms up, and as we exhale, let the right hand find that right thigh and sweep the left arm up and over. And then find that gentle pulsing inhale coming up, exhale, folding, and noticing how the side body showed up tonight. The next time left fingers reach over to the right, just pause. That left shoulder rolls back, the heart is shining forward, and we're breathing. Pressing left hip into the mat. On the next exhalation, sweep those left fingers towards the right toes and then all the way across. Bring that hand to the left knee and the other hand on the opposite side. Exhale, fold over the left knee. And inhale to rise back up. So if you know coming on your knees isn't going to work for you tonight, just kind of repeat that, follow along with gait. Otherwise, come on up and we're going to start with the left knee on the mat. Might want to block close by. Left leg is perpendicular to the mat. The right toes can be up, facing your screen, out to the side, whatever makes your knee happy. And then bring the hands to the hips and find a little length here. Find your foundation first, right? That left foot is pressing into the mat. We're coming out of the waist. And make sure this is okay with the knees. If it's not, take it seated. As we inhale, sweep the arms above the head. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, just let that right hand rest in front of the right thigh and take the left arm up and over. And breathe here. So we use that hand in front of the thigh for just a little bit of a press. The shoulders are down, but we're finding a nice stretch down the left side body. And see if it would feel good to take the gaze towards the mat, maybe up towards that hand, or what would make the neck happy. And then start to bring some movement, just circling that arm out to the side and up and over. And take 3 big circles here. Reach up towards the sky, and as we exhale, let that left hand find that block, right? If you don't have a block, fingertips to the mat, right hand to the hip, and then sweep the right fingers up. So imagine that the arms are one straight line going right through the heart. And again, maybe lifting the gaze towards the lifted right hand, or it might feel good just to gaze down at the floor. Press into the right foot. Get a little bit longer on the inhale, and then use that right hand to bring you back up. Let the left hand come up too. And as we exhale, very carefully, we're going to fold forward, staying high on the fingertips, taking that block with us. Or if you want a deeper stretch, releasing down into a variation of a child's pose with that right leg extended. This is intense, so if this doesn't work, go to a regular child pose or stay up high. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, just open the mouth and sigh it out. Notice if anything let go with that. And then as we inhale, we rise back up, bring the arms above the head. As we exhale, let the hands come to the hip and take that right knee down to the mat and shoot that left leg out. Find your block. Have it close by. And then position that left foot so that the knee is happy. As we inhale, we sweep the arms above the head, finding the length. As we exhale, left hand outside of left thigh, right arm up and over. Breathing here. Right, finding the length on the inhale, just checking in, shoulders are down. Right, the face is soft. Big breath in, and then we begin to make some circles, just circling that arm down and inhaling it back up. We'll do that 3 times. Then pausing when the right fingers are reaching up. Big breath in, and as we exhale, let's reverse. Right hand finds the block, or fingertips find the mat, and left arm reaches up towards the sky. Taking the gaze down or looking at that lifted hand or any place in between, just take a breath, press into the left foot, find a little more length here. Continue to breathe. And then let that left hand bring us back up. Right hand reaches, big breath in, exhale, forward fold. Your choice, stay up nice and high. Fingertips on the block. You can even stay here if it doesn't work for you to fold forward. Or maybe pressing that right hip towards the heel, extending the arms out. Finding a variation of a child's pose. Big breath in, open the mouth, and just let that go. And then walking the hands close to each other, coming back up. And just coming into a tabletop. Doesn't matter which way you're facing. Right, pressing the palms into the mat, finding your foundation. Few rounds of cat and cow, just dropping the belly, lifting the gaze as we exhale. Press the floor away, chin to chest, round the spine. And do that 3 more times with the breath. See if it would feel good when we round into cat to come all the way into child's pose. And as we inhale, dropping the belly, maybe shifting the hips forward into a gentle up dog. Just an option. And then come back to that neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, and find downward facing dog. So either walking the dog, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, or if down dog doesn't work for you, just come to stand in the middle of the mat. Come high on the toes and bend the knees a lot and send that tailbone really far back. Let the head drop between the arms, and on an exhale, see if the heels can gently release towards the mat. Big breath in, and as we exhale, walk the hands towards the feet towards the hands. Drop the belly to the thighs, opposite hands to elbows, and find ragdoll pose. A gentle sway side to side, shaking your head, yes and no. And then bring the palms to the thighs, and with a nice long spine, leading with the heart, start to lift the body up to stand. And then turn and face that long end of your mat and shake out the legs. Okay, so bringing the feet hip width apart, finding our Tadasana. Right, belly in, tailbone down, little bend to the knees, and then straighten the legs, roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Palms can face forward. Right? Find the strength of our foundation here. Maybe even let the eyes close. And then bring your hand to just above the navel and just below the sternum, where the ribs meet. Right? This is our solar plexus. This is our chakra, our Manipura chakra. So this is the chakra of fire, right? Will. So breathe into that. Feel that fire. Right? Feel that power. We are powerful here. And then open the eyes, sweep the arms above the head, big breath in. And as we exhale, take a forward fold. Bend your knees, so bring that block underneath. Right? Shake it out. And then sweep the arms as we rise back up. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, hands to heart. Some breaths. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, rising up. Maybe a little baby back bend as the hands meet. As we exhale, we fold forward. We find that half lift, sliding the palms to the shins, maybe the knees or thighs, and exhale, come on down. Sweep the arms out with bent knees as we press the floor away, rising up, hands in prayer. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful, one more like that. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, lengthen, and come on down. Sweep the arms as we rise back up. This time, take the arms out, T position. And we're going to walk the feet out nice and wide. So we're going to come in and out of our standing postures. We're going to do some breaths in between with the legs nice and wide, a little more opening for the hips. So let's turn the left toes to the left, kick that right heel in, and put a little bend into that left knee. Come on back up and do that 2 more times. Right, just finding your side warrior or warrior 2. Breathing here, look over the left fingertips, press into the pinky side of that right foot. And as we inhale, turn the palms towards the sky and straighten that leg, let the hands meet in prayer. As we exhale, flip those palms back down, bend the knee, warrior 2. 2 more times like that. As the arms float down, imagine we're dragging the heels towards each other like we did when we were seated in class. Gaze over left fingertips, reach to the right, reach to the left. Where can you soften, right, as we hold this pose? And then flip that left palm, left arm reaches up as the right hand drops down to our reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. Big breath in. As we exhale, let the arms come back down. Turn the toes towards the front. Sweep the arms above the head and exhale, forward fold. Find that half lift length and look up. And exhale, release back down. Your choice, hands to hips or sweep those arms all the way out as we rise back up. Exhale, arms extend. Right toes to the right. Kick that left heel out a bit and bend into the right knee. And let's do that little bend and straighten. Warrior 2 on the other side. And then finding your side warrior, gazing over right fingertips, dragging those heels towards each other. As we inhale, flip the palms, straighten the leg, hands meet above the head. Exhale, float back down, gaze over right fingertips. 2 more times like that. Inhaling up, exhaling down. 1 more time, coming up and exhaling and holding here for a breath. Right, being strong where we need to be strong, but allowing that softness in the belly, in the breath. Let's flip that right palm. Inhale, right arm reaches as the left hand drops. Finding our peaceful warrior pose. Big breath in. As we exhale, the arms come out to the side, the toes turn towards the front. Take a breath, arms above the head. Exhale, take that forward fold. Find that half lift and lengthen, look up. And exhale, come on down. Sweep those arms out as we rise. As we exhale, arms come to T position. Turn the left toes to the left, bend the knee. Just one breath in warrior two. Flip the palm, inhale, arm reaches up. One breath in peaceful warrior. Exhale, left forearm to the left thigh. Right arm up and over, extended side angle. Begin to sweep the fingers down towards the mat and inhale back up. And do that 2 more times. And then reach those right fingers up to the sky and let that next breath bring you up. Turn the toes out. Big breath in, hands above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, lengthen, look. Exhale, come on down. Sweep the arms out as we rise. Exhale, find that T position. Turn the right toes to the right. One breath. Warrior two. Flip that right palm. One breath. Peaceful warrior. Beautiful, guys. Exhale, coming through. Right forearm to the right thigh. Back arm up and over, extended side angle. As we exhale, start to sweep the arm down and inhale it back up. 3 big sweeping circles. Let the torso rotate towards the mat as we come down. And then reach that left arm up. Let that left arm bring you right back up. Turn the toes to the front, sweep the arms above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, lengthen, look up. Come on back down. As we inhale, we rise, arms above the head. As we exhale, arms come out, turn the left toes to the left. We have 1 more pose that we're adding on. 1 breath, warrior two. Flip the left palm. Inhale, 1 breath. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh, back arm up and over. Extended side angle. And then inhale to rise up and straighten that left leg. Reach through the left fingers, pivot the arms. Triangle pose. Beautiful, guys. As we exhale, float the hand down, look at the mat. As we inhale, rise up. 2 more times like that. Moving in and out of our Trikonasana. The next time the right arm reaches to the sky, pause. Take a big breath to lift us. Turn the toes towards the front. Bring the arms above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Find that half lift. Exhale, back down. Then sweep the arms as we rise. Let them come out. T position, right toes to the right. Kick the left heel. 1 breath as we bend right knee into warrior two. Flip the right palm. 1 breath, reaching right up, left down, peaceful warrior. Coming up and over into extended side angle. And then inhaling, coming up, straightening that right leg, reach through the right fingers. As we exhale, pivot the arms into triangle pose. Big breath, reach through left fingers. Exhale, sweep the fingertips towards the mat. Look down at that right foot. Inhale, rotating the body, coming back up. Triangle pose. 2 more times like that. And holding here, taking a big breath in, and then reaching up through center with that left hand. Turn the toes forward. Big breath, arms above the head as we exhale, forward fold. Take a half lift and lengthen, look. And as we exhale, come on back down. And if the fingers are really far from the mat, you might want to take a block and place it under the face. We're going to start by, even if the fingers aren't far, you might want to use that block for a little extra support. We're going to start by sweeping the right arm to the right and bending into the right knee. Breathing here, nice long spine, right? So the torso stays center, right? It's just twisting towards the right. As we exhale, let that right leg straighten, bring the right hand to the block, And then inhale, sweep left arm out to the left, bend the left knee. Breathing, long, deep breath. Let's find a little flow from side to side. Just lifting the arm and bending the knee. If it feels really good, maybe staying there for more than a breath. You might want to play with doing this with the legs straight. And the next time that we twist towards the left, let that hand come back to the floor or the block, straighten the legs. One more time, nice long spine, half lift. And as we exhale, lower down, surrendering. Big breath in. Just allowing the head to be below the heart. And slowly start to bring the body back up. Bring the hands to the thighs, and crawling your way back up. Walk the feet back towards each other. Give those legs a little shake. And then bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. Drop the chin to the chest. Maybe let the eyes close, but take a soft gaze down at the floor. And notice what's happening in the body, in the breath, in the thoughts and the mind. Can we breathe deep here? Can we relax? Whatever it is, we can relax. Can we feel and watch those emotions? And can we allow? Can we allow life to be exactly the way it is without fighting it? Inhale, open the eyes. Let's get ready for a balance. So we've been playing with pretty simple balances. I think we were doing a version of Dancing Shiva, and we'll do that one again. So bringing the weight into the right foot to start and bending the left knee. And start just by taking the toes from side to side, right? From pinky toe to big toe, and maybe bringing the foot behind and pressing the toenails into the mat, getting a nice stretch to that ankle, rocking that around. And then bring those left toes in front, belly in, lift through the crown of the head. We're pressing into the big toe of the right foot. And maybe the toes stay on the mat the entire time, right? Or we lift that knee up. And you can lower and lift if the balance is challenging tonight. Or we can hold. We can hold below the thigh, right behind the knee, just below the knee. Whoops. And we can smile. We can stay here. Or bring that left hand to the left knee and start to open that leg out to the side. But you might want to have a wall or a chair close by. Right arm extends. And have some fun with it. I think I was explaining in the last class, if you want to take this a little further, find the big toe. Whoops, or not. And you can kick that leg out or use a strap. Whoopsie. And then when you're ready, I fell out. Coming back to center, and we're going to take it into a little baby twist. So the right hand finds the knee and the left arm extends out. And maybe, it's a big maybe, we start to cross that left knee across the body and gaze over the left fingertips. Woo! Notice what's happening here. Coming back to center. Oh, back on two legs, shake it out. They come into a chat. I know I started saying a simple balance. That's not so simple. So we come into a little bit of a challenge, right? What happens to the body, right? Do we constrict? Does everything get tense? Are we holding? Are we not breathing? So our mat is just a little metaphor for our life. Notice what you're doing on the mat, and you're probably doing that off the mat. So this is where we practice. Let's go to the other side, pressing into the left foot. We start just by bringing those right toes up front and do a little wiggle from the big toe to the pinky toe. Breathing. Okay, and then letting that foot come behind, maybe. Toenails down, stretching out the ankle. And you might notice one side's a little more challenging. Maybe if you have an injury like me, or just one side's a little tighter. And then let's come back and find our foundation first, lifting that right knee up and maybe taking the foot off the floor, maybe holding here. Beautiful place to stay. Now you can use a strap here, but using straps in the balancing poses, I would suggest going to a wall, because if the strap gets caught, you can fall. And I want to keep you guys safe. Maybe holding behind the knee, or taking that right hand to the inside and opening the knee out to the side. Extending left arm out. I'm not even going to attempt to grab my toe on this side because I have an injury on my standing leg. And breathing here. When we fall out, we smile, get right back in. I'd say that's why we call this a practice. Come back through center, holding with the left hand and extending the right arm out. Okay, so modify. Keep the toes on the ground. Ooh, look how nice that is. How deep can we twist when we have the toes on the ground? And then moving into it slowly. Oh, let's release. Let's shake it out. Let's come on back down to the mat. Grab a drink. Rarely do I say this in our class, but baby wipe the sweat. I mean, that one definitely created a little bit of fire. So let's start to slow that down. Let's come on to the belly. Doesn't matter which end you're facing. Come on down to the belly. Take one hand on top of the other. Bring the elbows out to the side. And just rest the forehead on the back of the hands. Bend your knees, bring the feet up, and gently windshield wipe the knees from side to side. Let's reconnect with our breath. Taking the breath deep into the belly. On the exhalation, opening the mouth and sighing it out. Then release the feet down. And slide the right knee up towards the right elbow that we're going to slide down, and drop the head on the left arm. Coming into half round. So a much gentler hip opener. And you just play with moving that right knee away from you, maybe sliding the right heel out, rolling into the right side, and breathing. Deep breath in. Maybe even close the eyes and just follow the breath in and out as we gently release that right hip. On the next exhalation, send the right leg back, keeping the hands one on top of the other. Simply bring the arms up and over to the other side. Bend the left knee. Bring the left elbow towards the left knee and drop the head on the upper right arm. Half frog on the other side. And play with it, extending the knee out, maybe moving the heel further away, and rolling into the left side with every exhalation. On the next exhale, extending that leg back, bringing the hands under the shoulders and gently pressing up to tabletop. Bring the hips to one side and come back to a seat. And cross the left ankle over the right leg. Hands behind for support. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Coming into our seated pigeon pose. So if anybody really wants to take a pigeon down on the mat, feel free. You know, some people really love that pose. Some not so much. Otherwise, we'll just stay here rocking from side to side, getting that nice little stretch. And we're going to come and bring the hands underneath that left leg. Let the right leg extend, and then find this little cradle, maybe holding the foot and the knee or finding the bind, sitting up nice and tall, pulling that leg in close and rocking side to side. So I read an article the other day that this is a better hip opener than pigeon. Making sure the breath is deep and flowing, and then releasing that leg out just for a moment. Sitting up nice and tall, taking a breath, sensing the right side and the left side. And then let's bend the knees, and this time it's that right ankle that crosses over left. Hands come behind us for support. And we find a gentle rock from side to side. You know to walk that left heel closer if you want a deeper stretch, or slide it away for less intense. But we don't want the body to constrict. If that stretch is too deep, everything tightens, and it's the opposite of what we're trying to do. It's like in life when we push too hard and we try to force things, right? You don't get anywhere. Let's come through and cradle that right leg, gently side to side, maybe holding the foot and the knee, or finding the bind. Just making sure you're sitting up nice and tall, hugging that leg really close to the body. How are we doing time-wise? Oh, good. We got time for one more twist. And then let's take that right foot and just place it on the outside of the left leg. The left leg is extended. Maybe shift the hips so that you're sitting on both hips. Hug that right leg in close. We're going to take the right hand behind us and sweep the left fingertips all the way out to the left. Take a big breath, and as we exhale, come through center and hug that knee, either in the crook of the elbow or with the palm and forearm, and gently start to turn the body towards the right. Inhale, lengthening, and as we exhale, we're twisting from the base of the spine. And so belly button and the ribs turn, shoulders are down. The very last thing to turn is the head. And we're breathing, big breath in. And as we exhale, where can you release? Where can you let go? Let's gently unwind, bring the palms to the opposite side, dropping the head down, counter stretch. Inhale, come back up and switch. Right leg extends, left knee comes in, and we cross it over that right leg. Left hand behind. Sweep the right fingers to the right. Big breath in as we exhale all the way across the body. Finding our twist. Hugging that left thigh towards the belly button. And as we exhale, gently twisting from the base of the spine. Then the ribs, then the shoulders. The very last thing to turn is the head. And make sure the shoulders are down. Big breath in. Lengthening, exhale, a little deeper twist, and then gently unwinding, bring the palms to the right, drop the head down, counter stretch, come on back up, extend the leg. Bring the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. I'll always tell you guys not to do that, but I want you to do that this time. Drop the head back and just take the head side to side, giving yourself a little massage, a little release to those muscles. And come back through center and interlace the fingers, flip the palms away and bring the palms under the right shoulder. Press down and gaze and look to the left. Nice little stretch for the neck. Come through center, big breath. As we exhale, press the palms away. Inhale, bring the hands just under that left shoulder. Exhale, press down and turn the head towards the right. Come on back through center. Bend the knees and spin the body so we're facing the long end of the mat. With the knees bent, maybe finding your block. We're going to lower down for bridge pose. Feet are hip width apart. Palms alongside the body. Arms alongside the body. Palms and forearms pressing into the mat. So if you want to use that block, you can place it between the thighs and squeeze the thighs. Or if you want a restorative pose, you can lift the hips and just rest the sacrum on the block and take restorative. So see what would feel good for you. Since we've been fiery today, I'm going to take that block between my thighs. Press the palms into the mat, press the feet into the mat. And as we inhale, start to lift the hips. And as we exhale, slowly lower down. One vertebra at a time. Let the lower back touch before the tailbone. And find a floating bridge, just coming up and down. So we're not coming into that full expression of the pose. Notice the muscles that we're engaging as we lift and lower. And then the next time the hips come up, decide where you want to be. You can stay in a little baby bridge. You can use that block and turn this into a restorative pose. Or you can release the block and lift the hips all the way up. Just make sure wherever you are, you're breathing. Using the inhales and the exhales. If you took the restorative option, allowing the body to surrender onto that block. Whichever version you're in, we'll take 2 more deep breaths here. And then nice and slow, releasing our bridge, lowering down. Walking the feet out as wide as the mat, letting the knees rest on each other, thighs rest on each other, wrapping the arms around you in a little hug, chin to chest, and finding a restorative rest pose. And take a breath here and see if there's any other movement that the body is looking for. We didn't do any work with the straps tonight. Maybe you want to do those leg stretches. Maybe a happy baby, maybe a knee hug, right? Opposite, one knee and then the other. See what the body would like. Or maybe you're ready for Shavasana. When I see the movement stopping, I'll bring us into our relaxation. We have plenty of time. We have 6 minutes. So you can take a minute and move around. We still have 5 minutes for rest. And revisiting our pose while you guys settle into your final pose of relaxation. Find the point of radiance in your heart, whether that be passion, pleasure, or pain so deep it's etched in blood. Follow where your true heart leads. When it seems there is no light, look carefully, for it is always there, that ember of the God force. It may be hidden in a dim corner or buried beneath a pile of regrets, but it's there nonetheless, that spark of divine essence illuminating your next step. On the next exhalation, let it all go. Just releasing into your relaxation. So Shavasana is a pose of letting go, surrender. So just resting the body here, letting the breath become the focus. Breathing deep breath on the inhalation, filling the body. And as you exhale, allowing everything to release and relax and let go. Imagine a beautiful light at the heart space. Breathing deep into that space, that light becomes brighter. And as you exhale, sending that light out to every cell in the body. Letting the light spread to every cell, And any areas of pain or discomfort, remembering that the body holds on to emotional pain the same way it holds on to physical trauma. And just let this light dissolve the pain the way the sunlight dissolves the fog. Breathing in all that's good and exhaling whatever it is that doesn't serve you. Relaxing all of the muscles of the face, the space between the eyebrows, the forehead, the little corners of the eyes and the eyelids, the cheeks, space around the nostrils, the lips, the tongue. Let the back teeth separate and relax your jaw. And let that relaxation travel the back of the neck and the throat, the shoulders and shoulder blades. Imagine that light traveling from the shoulders down the arms and out through the fingertips, relaxing shoulders and upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and all 10 fingers. Relax the torso, space around the heart and the chest, the upper, middle, and lower back, the waist, and the belly. Relax your hips and seat muscles. Let the pelvis go. Relaxing thighs, knees, calves and shins, ankles, feet, and all 10 toes. And just for a few moments, absolutely nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just being one with the breath. Trusting that this next breath will bring us everything we need. And trusting that even though we don't know what the events of the next few days, weeks, months will be, we will be able to flow with whatever life brings our way. As an active participant, choosing our reactions, choosing peace, choosing acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Begin to deepen the breath and bring some movement. Maybe rocking the head, wiggling fingers and toes, big stretch if it feels good, like we're just waking up. And then rolling to one side, finding a fetal position as we transition back, and just noticing how the body feels. Noticing the effect of the practice on the mind and the breath, the thoughts. And if something may be shifted. Whatever it is that you've cultivated on your mat tonight, take it with you into your week, right? Don't leave it here. And whenever you're ready, gently pressing into any comfortable seat, joining the palms together in prayer and bowing the head towards the heart. Thanking yourself for making the time, for continuing to show up. It's so important that you make space for yourself. Thanking the others for joining. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to continue to hold these classes and guide you. It's such an honor. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.